Good evening, my dear friends. Oh, what can I say? Now it's almost 10 p.m. evening time here in Lithuania. I am finishing up my work, and you know, interesting topic I want to talk about today. This topic is about breaking the simulation, right? I want to talk about breaking the simulation. And the simulation that is your life, the matrix that is your everyday life. I on the weekend I went to the sea mm, and spent some time with my family by the seaside. And it's a long drive, like two hours from me, like 2 hours drive to the seaside. And I had a chance to think during that drive, and I was thinking that I don't know if you can hear me well. I think my computer is making this noise. It's a massive computer, so, but whatever. As I was driving, I was thinking about, for some reason, I was thinking about the Matrix and the simulation, and this thought came into my mind. What if everything we see, like a schizo thought, like a schizophrenic thought, what if everything we see is not real? What if everything is just simulated, right, in the brain? What if everything I see and experience is not real? And I was thinking about this, trying to imagine myself looking at the world as if it was not real. So as if I was looking at it like the Matrix screen, like what if everything is a bunch of numbers? What if the things I look at, nature, colors, what if all these things are just numbers? I couldn't feel that way when I looked at people though. For some reason, when I looked at people, I felt like there was soul behind that. When I looked at objects like cup or the liquid within the cup, I could see numbers. I could easily imagine how that's simulated. But the human soul and the human itself, it was hard for me to imagine that thing being simulated and just numbers. Anyway, moving from what was the purpose, of thinking about that? And the purpose was probably that my life has been feeling that way for some time, like it's been stuck, like I've been just experiencing as if the same thing over and over and over. It's kind of getting a little bit annoying to me. That's why I started thinking about it. And as I started thinking about it, it, it felt like I was thinking for a long time, because I was thinking about it in the evening, next day morning. It was on my mind. So within 16 hours, maybe a little bit more, like 20 hours time frame, I was somewhere in the back of my mind thinking about this idea. What if everything is a simulation? And then I had this I heard this quote in some video that I was playing from a playlist, or maybe it was a song, where it's an it's a quote from Ye. And Ye says sometimes you have to be brave enough and courageous enough to just break the simulation. And I was thinking about this quote, and I was like, what if what if other people see the world the same way? What if and most likely they do. I think a lot of people see the world like it's some simulation and a matrix, and just nothing is real to them. But what does it mean to break what you see? Does going above your expectation, like, because we live our lives, we expect things. That's the simulation, right? You have some expectations, and okay, when I do this, this is gonna happen. When I do this, maybe there's a path of action you can take every single day that completely breaks the pattern of that expectation. And when you take a specific action that creates a completely different result in your life, one that you perhaps did not expect. Perhaps that's breaking the simulation. So then I was thinking, okay, so how do I get to those actions? What are those actions that actually break the simulation? And I get to live the life that I can't even expect myself to have, right? And the next thing came to my mind is momentum. Perhaps we attempt to escape the matrix, but if we don't have enough momentum to break through, we're gonna bounce back. So we'll try something new and we will go ahead and we'll do it for 1 day, for 2 days, for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, and then a failure is gonna hit, and then you're gonna try again, and a second failure is gonna get, and maybe you tried something new for 2 weeks, and you'll say to yourself, "Oh, maybe this is not for me," and you stop doing it, or for some other reason, maybe you got sick or something, and you stop doing it, and then you got well again, but you never you never came back, and so we bounce back, and we don't escape the matrix. And I was thinking, okay, those kind of moments happen to me as well. I remember last December, I started going to the gym, okay, getting a little bit into a habit, boom, boom, boom. My daughter is born in January, right? I have a child in January now. And I stopped going to the gym because I have a baby at home. The baby's waking up in the night, and I'm like, I can't go to gym right now. I'm lacking sleep. And then 1 month passes, second month passes, third month passes, and I can see that the baby's, is getting the baby's getting comfortable. The baby's becoming, a little bit more predictable. My daughter is sleeping at night, so I'm getting sleep as well. My wife is getting sleep. We're kind of back in our matrix now after only a few months, but the gym is not here. So I came to realize, okay, that event popped me out of my matrix for the time being, but it was a new matrix I was trying to get in. So now I'm back in the old one. And I realized sometimes it just works like that. We don't have enough momentum to stick through and keep going. So I was thinking, okay, now how do we build momentum then? How do I, whenever I decide to break the matrix and break the simulation and actually move in a direction that I know is gonna be life-changing for me, how do I build enough speed so that within those 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 12 weeks, perhaps I'm gonna attempt to break the simulation, that I build enough momentum that I just kind of break my expectations and fly off into the sunset. Yeah, so that's what's on my mind. Gathering enough momentum to break the simulation. And I guess that momentum is, taking action daily. It's not about how much time you spend at work. It's not how much time you spend in the office. It's all about the actions that you end up taking that reinforce that belief in yourself. And that belief in yourself is, what keeps you going. So it's all about that. It's about taking that. It's about taking that. What's the word? Proactive action. It's about taking the proactive action and looking at what you want out of life, and then taking that proactive action. And if you do enough of proactive action, enough of volume, you might build enough momentum, just maybe break the matrix.